What's up, guys? I'm back. Some of you may ask, where have you been? Well, some of you may know, some of you probably don't know because there's an abundance of content here on YouTube. So some of you may not know I was sick. Okay, I was sick. And this last week, I really didn't get a chance to do anything in regards to recording content. So I'm starting to feel like myself a little bit. So let's get back to it. Can't keep a good man down. What's up, YouTube? It's the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I am back. And like I said, man, I know it's kind of kid around in my intros, but yeah, man, I've been down for like the past week. So it feels good to be back and actually in front of the camera recording some content for you guys. So happy holidays to you. I hope, unlike myself, you don't get sick at any point in time throughout this holiday season. All right, so make sure you're taking care of yourselves. All right, so I want to be jumping into today the fragrances that I've worn the most this year. There's a lot of variables when it comes to most worn fragrances, and a lot of things that, for me, that contribute to what fragrances I wear the most. When I acquired the fragrance, obviously how much I enjoy it, how versatile it is, things of that nature typically play into it. But I have 10 fragrances here that I've taken account of. And a lot of times when you look at the dent in the bottles, it's evidence that the fragrance got quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and run the intro when we come back. 10 most worn fragrances of 2023 by the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. So if you want to see what I wore this year the most, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it. My energy's not quite back to where it was, so that's all we got for today.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into this video really quickly. Guys, remember that Navitus Parfums is running an amazing sale right now, up to 60% off fragrances. I'm actually going to be doing a video where I'm going to be unboxing some of the newer releases from the brand. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. Over the past 4 or 5 years, I've did about 5 fragrances or so with Navitus Parfums. So obviously those fragrances will be included in the sale as well. So I'll give more detail on that when I do the unboxing of those fragrances, but be on the lookout for that. All right, so this first fragrance up is actually a fragrance that I picked up kind of recently here. It actually was released this year. And when I bought it, I actually wore it for about a week straight. So automatically it qualified it for this list. It's the newest one from the brand of Creed, and I'm talking about Absolute Aventus. Absolute Aventus. So obviously with the Aventus brand being so popular, I felt this was a fragrance I really wanted to add to the collection. So I heard originally that it was going to be somewhat of a limited release. It's not like, from what they said, they're going to do additional batches of this. So if you don't get, from what I heard, this batch, then there won't be any additional batches. Don't know how true that is, but that is what I heard. So anyway, I went ahead and plunged and bought it. It is expensive for what is this, 2.5 ounces. So it is expensive, but it is a really, really good fragrance, to be quite honest with you. It does smell like the original Aventus. There's more of an emphasis here on the smoky vetiver note compared to the original, but I really do like it. And like I said, when I first bought it, I wore it for an entire week. So for me, having as many fragrances as I have, when I've worn something at least 5 or 6 times, it definitely qualifies for most worn. Because a lot of my fragrances, some of them I don't get to in a calendar year, and some of them I may wear once or twice. So anyway, definitely made the list. I'm happy with my purchase. If it is a limited release, I'm happy that I have this in my collection from the brand of Creed, Absolute Aventus. Now, for those of you that know me or have been following my content, you know that I'm not a stranger to dressing up, attending formal events, and just in my daily life, man, just wearing suits and things of that nature. So I have the perfect fragrance that complements a suit, a shirt, and a tie, and I wore it quite a few times this year from the brand of Parfums, the Allure. Now this bottle isn't going to have a huge dent as some of the others because this is literally a 2 or 3 at max spray fragrance, but trust me when I tell you that I've worn it several times this year. I love this fragrance because it is a fruity chypre. And like I said, if you want to do a formal event, you want to do a shirt and tie and be suited, I think that a fougere, I think that a chypre, because they're so masculine, and I think the most masculine presentation we can have as a guy is in a suit. You know, so those things to me just go together. Suit, shirt, tie, chypre, fougères, they just kind of work in my opinion. And like I said, for me, this is my favorite chypre. So I wore it quite a few times. I absolutely love this fragrance. It is so elegant, sophisticated. Definitely the 2 words that come to my mind to describe this fragrance. I love it. So it was in the rotation this year for sure for me. So from the brand of Parfums, the Allure. Now this next fragrance that I wore quite a bit this year comes from the brand of a juice box, and this is called Cheeky Smile. And the evidence is here. I think I actually picked this up this year. Yeah, I did. And there's quite a dent in there. Again, guys, I know it is relative. If you only have 5 or 6 fragrances, this may not obviously will be a dent, but not bragging, but when I have an extensive collection, or the collection that I have, this is a nice dent. So I wore this fragrance a lot because the versatility factor, which is honestly the reason why I wore a lot of these more often than some others. These are not necessarily obviously my favorite fragrances, but I like them a lot. And the fact that they offer a lot of versatility lends to the idea that I can wear them more often. You know, I love Dolce Diablo from Narcotica, but it's a super sweet gourmand fragrance. Like, as much as I love that, I wouldn't wear that every day. I know people say you wear what you want when you want. I get that. But I have rules and kind of, things that I follow as it relates to my fragrance wearing. So there's that. So Juice Box, Cheeky Smile, this is such a versatile fragrance, right? ISO-E Super and Ambroxan. I can wear this. I've worn it by itself. I told you guys on my layering video, if you didn't see that, I'll make sure I link it right here, because I want you to see that video. I layer this sometimes with Baccarat Rouge 540. This fragrance is just one of those scent profiles that it just works, man. All right, and I really like it. So if you like fragrances like Baccarat Rouge 540, Molecule 01, I think you'll really enjoy this fragrance, man. So check it out from the brand of Juice Box, Cheeky Smile. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, and I actually picked this up this year as well. I'm one of the few people left in the world, I think that, well, at least in this what we call fragrance community, that loves Bond No. 9 fragrances. And I actually picked this one up. So glad that I did. Riverside Drive. Picked it up this year. Huge dent, guys. Proof is in the pudding. Right, this is really at its core, to me, it smells like a fougere with a juicy pineapple note up top. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. It's spicy. I think basil is in here. This thing is phenomenal, seriously. Gosh, I love this fragrance. Now, in fairness, I don't get the performance that I would like from this. But outside of that, it just smells great. So, obviously, you can reapply it or whatever the case may be. But if I had to have a small knock on it, it would be that. But I love the scent profile. I wore this a lot. Again, I don't really have to say much because I just show you the bottle, man. So, one of my most worn this year went to this one right here from the brand of Bond No. 9. This is Riverside Drive. All right, this next fragrance that I wore a lot seems to always be in my top 10 most worn fragrances every year because, again, it just smells great, and I know that wherever I'm going, I don't have to think much about this fragrance. You know, I know that, or I feel confident that any environment that I go into, I'm going to smell great. It's going to be inoffensive to most people that I come into contact with, and it's going to be well received by most people. You know, so from the brand of Creed Aventus Cologne, this bottle and the contents continue to dwindle, right? I think it's right at about the line here where you see the sticker on the bottle. I think it's right there now. It's teetering on that. So I wear this all the time, man. I mean, like I said, regardless of where I'm going to work, running out to run errands, barbershop, hanging out with family, formal events, I don't care. I can wear this and it works. So, that factor alone for me is always the reasons why I wear this so much. This is one of my, definitely one of my dumb reach favorite fragrances too, that I gravitate towards quite often. So I think it was on the list last year, maybe on the list next year, at least if I make it through the year with some left. But anyway, wore quite a bit, guys, from the brand of Creed. This is a vintage cologne. All right, now up next, this next fragrance comes from the brand of Boadicea, Victorious. It's called Nemir. Again, quite a bit missing from this bottle as well. I really dove deep into this brand this year. I don't know how many fragrances I added to my collection from Boadicea Victorious, but it probably was the brand that I added the most fragrances to my collection of. And I've spent, quite a bit of money on these fragrances, but this one is just for me. I think from the price point of this one, which is around that $5.95 price point, when you compare it to, no, this one may be a little bit higher than that. I don't remember. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, this one was one of those fragrances I can't really put my finger on it. It just kept calling me to pick it up and put it on. There's some saffron in here, some cypre oil, cedarwood, sandalwood. This is just amazing scent profile. It's really hard to just explain exactly what this smells like, but it is very alluring. That is the perfect word for this fragrance, and I kept wearing it. I think when most people smell this, it gets compliments, but this is because this is such a unique scent, and it really just kind of compels people to really want to inquire more about it and find out what it is. That's the best way to describe it. But I love this stuff. Again, when I want to smell unique, I want to smell great but unique, this is one that I reach for a lot. So again, I rocked the heck out of it this year, as you can see. And this is from the brand of Boadicea Victorious. This is called Nemir. All right, the next fragrance, another versatile fragrance, scent DNA, from the brand of Yves Saint Laurent. This is called Trench. Trench, and this is really a iris fragrance. So it's really powdery, it's really creamy and sweet as well, and floral. I think those are the best words to describe it. Guys, this thing smells absolutely fantastic, seriously. Again, this dent was pretty much created this year. Get a nice dent in it. And again, I think it has fig in it, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So fig, sandalwood, the iris, again, a host of florals in this one as well. It really, really smells great. It is a very inviting scent. And it's one that, just like a lot of the other ones I talked about, man, you can wear this pretty much anywhere and feel pretty good about the environment that you're going to be going into on many levels. So another one that got a lot of wear for me this year was from the brand of YSL. This one is called Trench. From the brand of Chanel, 1957. Huge dent in this one as well. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's a resounding theme. These fragrances that get more wear are really, for me, very pleasant, easy to wear, versatile, easy grab kind of scent profiles. And that's what this is. This is a clean, slightly soapy fragrance with a really clean white musk note. Thing smells absolutely phenomenal. Man, something about Chanel fragrances is such a quality to them when you smell them. And they all, to me, especially from this exclusive line, not all of them, but a lot of them have a kind of similar scent profile or DNA. But what they do is they exude elegance. And that's what I love about this line. But anyway, this is one that I wore a lot, got a lot of compliments on this one as well. So I definitely picked it up quite a bit from the brand of Chanel. Guys, check out 1957. All right, guys, and we have two more fragrances, and they came from the same brand, so I'm going to kind of share the 1 and 2 spot because they're from the same brand. And honestly, think I probably wore one a little bit more than the other one, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to show you both. Meteore from Louis Vuitton and Imagination from Louis Vuitton. Guys, look at those dents. Let's do one at a time. Imagination, huge dent. Meteore, huge dent. Guys, these two fragrances, I will tell you, when I do these end of the year kind of list, what I notice is that not all the fragrances, but there's a correlation. Most worn fragrances, most complimented fragrances, best pickups of the year. Some of these lists, you're going to see some of these fragrances multiple times. All right? Picked these two fragrances up this year and couldn't have been more pleased with what I got in these two fragrances. Both of these fragrances are, you know, again, like everything else I've said about the other fragrances on this list applies to these two fragrances as well, but mine, I've worn these individually. I blended these fragrances together. Again, go watch the blending video. I blended these together. I've worn them individually. I've worn them just about every place that you can wear a fragrance. They're highly complimented. They smell great. They do it all. I mean, these guys' fragrances check all the boxes. So, but anyway, definitely on my most worn fragrances of the year. And the proof is in the pudding there from the brand of Louis Vuitton, Meteore, and Imagination. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my time. Happy holidays to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time and attention to these videos. I know you don't have to watch, but you do. And I sincerely appreciate that. What are some fragrances that you guys wore the most this year? I would love to hear from you down in the comment section. Now, don't forget to take a few moments out to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys are sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use the information, find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. Love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.